Lucca to school a couple years ago.
Lucca is the next city in our list after Florence, so here we are. Just a few minutes from the train station, you'll already see part of the city's famous walls, which are among the best preserved Renaissance fortifications in Europe. And at 4 kilometers and 223 meters in circumference, they are the second largest intact example of a fully walled Renaissance city after Nicosia, Cyprus. Not spending too much time at the wall, we continued towards Duomo di San Martino, or the Lucca Cathedral. It is a Roman Catholic cathedral dedicated to Saint Martin of Tours.
So you can see that the medieval walls are still all around the city and are all intact, which is very rare for cities in Europe who have had a lot of wars and that withheld. Quite impressive.
Of the original structure, the great apse with its tall columnar arcades and the fine campanile remain. The west front was begun in 1204 by Guido Bigarelli of Como and consists of a vast portico of 3 magnificent arches, and above them 3 ranges of open galleries adorned with sculptures. If you look at the columns of the facade closely, you'll notice that each one is different. Legend has it that the inhabitants of Lucca announced a contest for the best column when they wanted to decorate the church's facade. Every artist made a column, but then the inhabitants decided to take them all without paying and used them. We continued our stroll and passed by Teatro del Giglio, the historic city theater and opera house with a statue of Garibaldi standing in front of it. The prior Teatro Pubblico or public theater, which was inaugurated in 1675, was destroyed by a fire and rebuilt but fell again to ruin after the Napoleonic upheavals. The current theater was built at the site in 1818 by Giovanni Lazzarini. We wanted to take a look inside, but unfortunately, it was closed for an event. Right beside it is Piazza Napoleone, also known as Piazza Grande. This square holds a significant role as the center of political power in Lucca. It's dedicated to Napoleon by his sister Elisa Bonaparte Bacciocchi, who led the Principality of Lucca between 1805 and 1815, and had the entire appearance of the square redone. There's really not much to see here except when there's an event like the Lucca Summer Festival, so you can save some time and skip it. Then we headed towards San Michele in Foro, which is a Roman Catholic basilica built over an ancient Roman forum and dedicated to Archangel Michael. Until 1370, it was the seat of the Consiglio Maggiore or Major Council, the commune's most important assembly.
We are high table.
What's notable about this church is its facade with a large series of sculptures and inlays. The last thing on our list, and definitely one that you should not miss, is Piazza dell'Anfiteatro. It's a public square in the northeast quadrant of the walled center of Lucca. The ring of buildings surrounding the square follows the elliptical shape of the former 2nd century Roman amphitheater of Lucca. The base of the former amphitheater, which dates back to the 1st or 2nd century BC, is now some 3 meters below ground. During its peak, it had around 18 rows of seats and can hold around 10,000 spectators. Now, private residences and outdoor restaurants and cafes surround the amphitheater. So, that wraps up our Lucca day trip. If you have seen our last video, we are still staying in Montecatini Terme, as it's a good base to do our day trips to other nearby cities such as Lucca. It's cheaper as well, especially during peak travel season when accommodation prices in major tourist destinations increase significantly. Also, it's a good opportunity to visit some of Italy's less touristy towns. The next city for us is Pisa. From the train station, we slowly made our way to the city's most famous landmark, the Tower of Pisa or Torre di Pisa. We strolled through Corso Italia, nicknamed High Street of Pisa, which connects the train station to the old town. It's lined up with stores from designer boutiques to souvenir shops. Even if shopping is not your thing, it's well worth a look.
Oh my god, look at the red stained glass.
At the end of the street on the left stands Logge di Banchi. It was built between 1603 and 1605 and was a place where people sold wool and silk. There were also stalls for money changers and cereals. It was closed for a long time but was renovated in 2000 and has been open since then for public use. Continuing along the Arno River, we reached Santa Maria della Spina. It's a small church erected around 1230 in the Pisan Gothic style and expanded after 1325. The name of della Spina, meaning of the thorn, was derived from a thorn considered to be part of the crown of thorns placed on Christ during his passion and crucifixion. The relic was brought to this church in 1333 but no longer houses it currently. It's supposedly now on display in Chiesa di Santa Chiara on Via Roma.
Minutes later,
we finally reached Piazza dei Miracoli, formerly known as Piazza del Duomo. The whole square was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. It's recognized as an important center of European medieval art and one of the finest architectural complexes in the world. It's dominated by four great religious edifices: the Pisa Cathedral, Pisa Baptistery, Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the Camposanto Monumentale or Monumental Cemetery. You can choose to go inside and explore these structures, but for us, we are very much contented admiring them from the outside.
Yeah?
Yeah? So that concludes our day trip in Pisa. We will be flying off tomorrow from here to Valencia. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.